Hey Candice, how you doing? All right, thanks so much for including your work and this wonderful written rationale. Very complete, very thorough, very detailed. This is telling me everything I need to know to give you a very effective critique. So thank you very much. It's really important for designers to be able to express their intent verbally and in textually. So I think this is fantastic. Please keep this up as we move through the class. And also, this is just a great, we instructors will love it when students give a really super detailed written description defining their conceptual intent and their designer's intent associated with any given project. So this is fantastic. Please keep it up. Okay, let's go ahead and jump over to the work. So I think the main thing I see here is, before we jump over the work, as we see this, is my branding of CK design. Okay, I, I, I think CK design is really, it doesn't provide enough information, okay? So if I look at this logo and I say, okay, CK design, who is CK? And right, I want to know who Candice Kershaw is. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in branding Candice Kershaw, not CK. Okay, your identity isn't CK. Your identity is Candice Kershaw. So, and I think it really, really helps to embed that into viewers' memory. So think potentially if a potential employer is looking at your resume and your branding work and saying, okay, CK design, CK design, CK design. So in a day or so, when that designer is thinking about the most uh, qualified applicants for a job, they're going to be thinking of, okay, that's CK. Who was that CK? Wouldn't it be better if they were to go, okay, I remember that Candice. That was good work. I'm interested in Candice Kershaw. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how it helps kind of fill in those blanks and further identify you in terms of a solid relationship with your branding? Okay, let's talk about it a little further right now. Okay, CK design right here. So I just think that this is look really random. I think these kind of sharp edges kind of indicate danger. And that's something that we as designers, we have to always look at our design, and we have to look at the inherent nature. So these sharp edges, they look like they're going to be hard. They would cut you, they would hurt if you touched them. So I think this is out. Definitely. You don't want the subconscious mind to bring up any kind of illusions of pain at all. So I think this one's out. So let's go ahead and get rid of that one. Okay, this one I think is interesting. I think it's interesting, but I don't think it's as extremely effective as it possibly could be. Also, think about the situation where you're eventually going to have to present this as a black logo or one color on white, right? So this is going to end up being just a solid blob, right? So this is not going to translate well. My idea is to be as versatile as you possibly can and design your logo accordingly so that when it is time to introduce that logo to a situation where it's required to be presented in one color or black on white. And I'm not talking grayscale, I'm talking black and white. So this would be problematic. And plus, I think that this one is just a much better and more interesting, more compelling. So let's get rid of that, and let's by process of elimination look at this. Okay, now the issue that I'm having here again is CK design. The design is so big in relationship to the CK that it almost overwhelms it. As a matter of fact, if we zoom out, we can see CK definitely takes a subservient position to the word design. This is your branding. CK, your mark and your name should be the focal point. So my recommendations are this. I would rather see you do a solid color here. Right now, I think we're considerably lacking contrast here. And again, a great indication of that is zooming out and seeing how this kind of disappears at a distance, right? So what I would recommend is this. This is an interesting monogram. The CK is really interesting. My recommendation is to present this in one color or even two colors. So maybe dark blue and light blue, or purple and blue, or something like that, or even one color, all blue, right? And then at that point, that would be your monogram. At that point, instead of having this big giant design underneath it, go ahead and say, your name, Candice Kershaw. I think that how you pronounce your last name, Candice Kershaw, right? So watch my cursor. So you have monogram, the CK, and then right over here, Candice Kershaw, then underneath it, graphic design. Do you see what I'm saying? Or you could even say, as it's configured right now and centered, you have the monogram, then Candice Kershaw, graphic design. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think that try that, and I think that you're going to find it to be much more effective, much more versatile, and much more harmonious in that regard. Keep contrast in mind. Contrast is one of the underlying elements in graphic design should always be considered while designing. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let me know. But I would like you to further develop this logo, considering my comments. If you find yourself working in subsequent weeks on your logo, that's perfectly fine. If you want to, if let's say you don't finish your logo, you get it to the way you want it till the week after next. That's fine. Just go ahead and post it to the general questions area or somehow get it to me. It would be beneficial to keep it within the LMS as opposed to emailing. That way the rest of the class can benefit from the exchange, right? But keep in mind, if you do find yourself working into subsequent weeks, you'll have to take your resume and the other things and kind of, in a perfect world, your logo is finished before you start your other collateral materials. That way you can continue in the vein of the visual language you've developed for your logo and continue transposing that into your other branded collateral materials. Okay, again, as I said, if you have any questions or need any clarification, please let me know. I'll be glad to provide that. All right, great start. Thanks so much for sharing.